Today we will be focusing on how to add fractions with unlike denominators. The problem that we are going to be using is Archie ran 1/4 mile on Saturday and 5/12 mile on Sunday. How many miles in all did he run on those 2 days? The first step that I need to do is I need to break down the problem and figure out what operation I need to use to solve. The question that I'm looking at is how many miles in all did he run on those 2 days? I see the words in all, which means addition. I know that it means addition because I'm looking for how many miles he ran in all or in total. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on adding the 1/4 mile he ran on Saturday to the 5/12 mile he ran on Sunday. So when I look at my problem, I am going to be adding 1/4 plus 5/12. Now, I have unlike denominators, so what I need to do is create a common denominator in order to add. All right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1/4 plus 5/12. So, 1/4 plus 5/12. I'm going to look for a common denominator. What I see is I know that 4 goes into 12 3 times. So the first step I'm going to check is see, does one of my denominators possibly be a factor of my other denominator? And in this case, 4 is a factor of 12. So what I'm going to do is I know that 12 goes into 12 1 time, and 4 goes into 12 3 times. So I am going to create equivalent fractions. I multiplied 12 times 1, and I'm multiplying 5 times 1. So I know that I can carry my second fraction straight down. And then I'm going to look at my first fraction. I know that 4 times 3 equals 12. And I know that 1 times 3 equals 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check. Do I have common denominators? Yes. Can I add efficiently? Yes. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to add 3/12 plus 5/12. When I'm adding fractions, my denominator always stays the same. I don't change that. I just add the numerators. So 3 plus 5 is 8. So I know that 1/4 plus 5/12 is equal to 8/12. Therefore, I know that Archie ran 8/12 of a mile on both Saturday and Sunday. All right, I think you've got the hang of it, so let's try another. Okay, in this problem, Archie ran 1/8 of a mile on Saturday and 5/6 of a mile on Sunday. How many miles did he run on those 2 days? Now, when I'm solving this problem, it's worded a little differently, but I still know that I'm looking at in total because I'm looking for how many miles did he run on those 2 days. So I know that I want to add the 1/8 mile he ran on Saturday and the 5/16 mile that he ran on Sunday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1/8 plus 5/16. My first step is I really want to see I want to establish a common denominator. I know 8 and 16 are not the same, but I can easily see that 8 is a factor of 16. So if one of my denominators is a factor of the other, what I can do is I can see that both of my fractions can be turned into 16ths. In this case, I took 16 times 1. I'm going to take 5 times 1 because you have to do the same to your denominator as you do to your numerator. So this becomes 5/16. Now I want to add my first fraction. So in this case, it's 1/8. I'm going to multiply it by 2 in order to get 16. Whatever I multiply my denominator by, I have to multiply my numerator by. So 2/16 plus 5/16 equals 7/16. So I know that Archie ran 7/16 of a mile on both Saturday and Sunday. All right, let's try one on your own. The first step that you need to do is establish what is the problem asking and what are the key words that tell you what the problem is asking us to do, or what operation do we need to use. Take a moment and decide, after reading the question, what operation we want to use and why. Please pause and record in your math notebook. Excellent. Now what we are going to do is we are going to establish what are the two fractions that you need to add together. So we saw that the words, in total mean to add. In this problem, we are going to be adding what two fractions? Please record these in your math notebook. Excellent. You are going to be adding 1/3 mile plus 1/9 of a mile. My next step is I need to see, is one of my denominators a factor of the other denominator? We are going to be looking for the common denominator. Please check and see if one of the denominators is a factor of the other. A factor means that it can be divided into evenly with no remainders. Great! You should have seen that 3 can be divided into 9, so we know that both our denominators need to be 9. Now, I know that 9 times 1 is equal to 9, and what I do to the denominator I must do to the numerator, so I have 1/9. Take a moment and change 1/3 into an equivalent fraction that has a denominator of 9. Excellent! You should have seen that 3 times 3 is equal to 9, and what I do to my denominator, I must do to my numerator. So now I have 3/9 plus 1/9. I am now going to add these together. 3 plus 1 equals 4. My denominator stays the same at 9. So I know that Archie ran 4/9 of a mile on both Saturday and Sunday. Excellent job!